thanks to the teachings, I managed to be often in the present, much more often than before. How do you manage bigger situations than the ones that you can encounter in daily life? For instance, I have a lawsuit right now, and that forces me into the past because I have to deal with it, answer questions quite often. And of course, it pushes me into the future as well because it is a fearful situation. How do I manage to remain present when something big like this comes to the surface quite often and needs to be dealt with?
Right. How are you managing right now?
So right now, I only thought about it because, well, I think about it often. How could I, well, the question I asked you. Otherwise, I tend to think, well, when I receive a next legal letter, I will just deal with it at that moment. But invariably, because it is quite a big issue in my life situation, it comes back often, not as often as before.
And do you have a hidden expectation of the outcome? For example,
that it would
win?
be manageable. Yeah, and it probably will, actually.
What's that? Say that again.
That it will be manageable, and it probably will, actually. When I think of that, I think it will be, because I have to trust the system. It's a divorce, just a very long, protracted divorce, so it brings...
Oh yeah, I know that one.
Yes. I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, basically.
And those are stressful situations, so it's not about thinking that you shouldn't be stressed. It is stressful, and that's just how it is. But how can you then manage the stress in you? When you don't have an attachment to the outcome, that takes away some of the stress. Either way, this event is going to be stressful. It can become less stressful by not attaching yourself to the outcome, by coming to this point. Is there any anger about this? Any anger at your partner?
Much less now. I mean, really, not really anymore.
Not really?
It was,
but there's some. So, by coming to that point of, I'm going to use the word forgiveness. Forgiveness for perhaps the unconsciousness that happened in the relationship. So Jesus said, forgive them for they do not know what they do. That could even include us if we're unconscious. Forgive them not just this one time, but forgive them, I can't remember the exact saying, 70 times, 7 times, or whatever it is. So it's almost this continual forgiveness, because this unconsciousness brings about a lot of turmoil inside. It was in probably the relationship. Am I right about that?
Yes.
Yeah. And when you came to this spiritual teaching, were you already in the relationship? Or did you come to it after the relationship?
After, when it became dysfunctional, it was actually a Humpty Dumpty to be put back together.
Yeah. Well, that's wonderful, because oftentimes, so we can see that dysfunction, something dysfunctional, can actually bring about something wonderful, and that is finding yourself again, finding that love inside of you. So maybe that relationship won't ever work again, but you can still release it with love. You can release it with presence. I remember when I had gone through my divorce, and then I found out, even though I'm the one who wanted it, I'm the one who wanted the separation. I remember when my ex began to see this woman and had a girlfriend, And I started to feel angry inside. I thought, what is this anger inside me? I don't even want him. Like, why am I feeling angry? Because this is part of me that started feeling this, brought up a rejection issue. And how did I work with that? I actually went into the feeling of it. Feeling the anger, feeling the rejection, feeling every single emotion and feeling it right through. No thinking about it anymore, just feeling it. And when I went straight in through the feeling, then I came out of it with this love. And I thought, and this happiness that he had found somebody. It was a complete opposite of what I just felt like moments ago. It was this coming out. So there's that saying, the only way out is through. The only way out is through that emotion of what you're picking up and what you're feeling. So that stress, and you're in this lawsuit. Well, first of all, do you even have to be in a lawsuit?
Well, I tried every negotiation now. There's no more talk.
Okay, so now the only way is to play it out and see what happens.
Yeah.
So how can you bring yourself to that ease of being again? So there's still, because what I'm hearing you say, there's still some emotion in you.
Some, yeah,
Some.
a little bit.
Yeah, even that little bit can create that obstacle to inner peace and to a release and to forgiveness. Even that little bit. So it's having to go through it again. Just go through it. Spend some time alone, and don't put a time frame on it. You might want to put a time frame on it because you have other things you have to do. But then if you haven't gone all the way through, then you spend some more time on it when you can. But you can actually release emotion in 30 seconds if you truly accept it. And you let go of time and let go of the expectation that it should be any different, that you should be feeling something else other than what you're feeling now. And when you go through that, you will be able to come into this lawsuit with more presence, more love, and a clearer insight on what needs to happen. So maybe it might be, you know what? I'm just going to give it to her. Give her what she wants. I've been with her and I love her, man. I do love her, even though I don't want to live with her anymore. I do love her. Just let it go. So that time when I was speaking about my ex-husband not giving the child support, and I was in school and not having that money, and we had gone through court about that. And I could have asked for money for myself, but I didn't. I just wanted money for my daughter. I knew I could take care of myself, but I just wanted that money for my daughter. And then when he stopped paying, because, he could. You go through the courts, but, now it's different. And I thought about, okay, what do? Do I go back to court again? Do I have to go through this all again? And then I just went, you know what? No, it's not worth it. It's not worth it to my peace of mind. I'm not suggesting that this is what you do. I'm just giving you my experience. You find when you're in that stillness what will give you that peace of mind and what is right action for you. Not what somebody else tells you, but what is right action for you. And if that means you just play it out, go through the courts, you know in yourself what that limit is. And really, it's not going to be up to you anymore when it comes to the courts. You just present your case, she presents her case, or he presents her case. And you just see, you already know inside. There's something in you that's settled about this. And okay. But you have to work through and go through those emotions first so that you can gain that clarity and that awareness and that pure understanding of that right action. And nobody can tell you what that's going to be. It will come to you. It comes through you the more that we are present. And we work through, on that human level, those emotions. And the stuck emotions, the anger that we might feel, the betrayal that we might feel, the resistance that we feel. All those human spectrum of emotions. Not meant for any judgment, although the mind will judge, people will judge. But they're just human emotions, and that's it. They're human emotions, and they're just meant to go through. And the wisdom comes when you go through it. After you go through it, and you've gone all the way through, wisdom comes. And that love appears. The acceptance is fully there. And you wish your partner well. You want them to feel happiness. You loved them at one point, just as I loved my ex at one point, and I still love him, but not in that way anymore where I want to be with him. So you want to wish your loved ones well. So there's this saying, I think Gwyneth Paltrow, the actress, came out and said that when she was going through her separation divorce, that there's separating consciously. So she may not be on that level. I don't know whether she is or not, but it doesn't matter. It's only you. It doesn't matter about her. It's you. Are you on that level of consciousness where you can now separate consciously?